Most of our trips at Wheel and Anchor are about going somewhere, moving through places, picking up the rhythm of a place over a few nights and then carrying on to the next one. But liveaways are different. On a liveaway, you stop, you pick a place, you settle in, and you give yourself 2 weeks to actually live there for a bit. To wake up in the same bed enough mornings in a row that the cafe around the corner starts to feel like yours. It's a different kind of travel, and today I want to take you to a place that I think rewards that kind of travel as much as anywhere we go. I still remember the first time I flew into Madeira, looking down out the window at those jagged volcanic peaks with all those green valleys folded in between them. It just doesn't look like anywhere else. It's volcanic, it's almost stupidly green, and it has the kind of weather in February that makes the rest of the world feel unreasonable. It's a small island, you can drive across it in a couple hours, but if you try to do that, if you try to see it the way you'd see somewhere on a normal trip, you miss what makes it Madeira. The weather changes from one valley to the next. The villages on the north coast feel nothing like the ones on the south. Funchal in the morning is one city, and Funchal at dinner is another. 2 weeks, you start to notice that. 1 week, you don't. That's why we built Madeira as a liveaway. We base ourselves at one hotel for 14 nights on the seafront in Funchal, and then we let the island reveal itself at its own pace. Mornings in Funchal start slowly, which is the right way to start a morning. The hotel sits in the Lido district, that part of town that hugs the coast. Promenades, gardens, cafes set back from the water. Even in February, most days are mild enough that you can take breakfast outside on a terrace watching the Atlantic. And after that, what you do with the morning is up to you. Some mornings we head out together for an excursion. Other mornings, you've got the day to yourself. Some people walk into the old town. It's about 20 or 30 minutes along the seafront, and the walk itself is half the appeal. Joggers, Funchalese pensioners on benches, the occasional cruise ship at anchor in the bay, the Mercado dos Lavradores, Funchal's farmers market, is a few blocks in, and it's the kind of place where you go to buy a passion fruit and end up there for an hour. Other mornings, people don't go anywhere. They sit on the terrace, they read, they go for a swim in the heated pool. They put off lunch for as long as possible because lunch in Madeira is something worth being hungry for. And that's the rhythm of the place. You can fill the morning if you want to, but you don't have to. Afternoons are where Madeira shows off, and Rubina shows us how. Rubina's our local guide. She leads almost all of our excursions every year, and our members get to know her well over 2 weeks. She's part of why this trip works the way it does. There's 5 excursions built into the trip, the kind of things you'd struggle to do well on your own. Places that need someone like Rubina to bring them to life. On about the 3rd day, for example, we head out east. We do a short walk along one of the levadas. Those are the old irrigation channels the Madeirans dug into the mountainsides hundreds of years ago. Today, there's something like 2,000 kilometers of footpaths beside them, and a lot of them are some of the best easy walking anywhere in Europe. After the walk, we head up to the village of Santana with its A-frame thatched houses, and we have lunch at a local restaurant, a place where you sit down and the food just keeps coming. And then we take you up to a volcanic viewpoint where on a clear day, you can see both coasts of the island at the same time, north and south, in one frame. Now that's a moment. Now that's one of 5 included. There's 5 more on top of that, optional. You can add on if you want to go a little deeper. And one of those, just to give you a sense, there's a wine estate in a valley on the north side of the island where the owner cooks espetada over an open fire. Espetada is the local thing. Beef skewers marinated in garlic and bay leaves. And the way they serve it, they've got those long iron racks over the table and the skewers hang down off them while you eat. At the same time, you sample wines from the estate. And the last time we went, we had the whole place to ourselves. That's the optional layer. None of it's mandatory. Most people do the included ones and then pick and choose from the optional list. Some skip everything, just spend each day on the terrace. Some discover their own things, a cafe they go back to, or beach club they like, or a stretch of levada they want to walk on their own. That's the deal. We've put together what we'd want to do if we were spending 2 weeks in Madeira ourselves, but you're spending 2 weeks in Madeira yourself. There's a thing that happens about 3 or 4 nights into a liveaway. The group starts to feel like a group. On the second night, we have a welcome cocktail. Everyone meets, names get exchanged, and you realize pretty quickly that you're with a group of Canadians who have the time and the curiosity to spend 2 weeks in a place like this. We've got interesting people from all over Canada, farmers from Saskatchewan, teachers from Atlantic Canada, former business owners from Ontario. Different lives, different parts of the country, but we all share one thing, which is a real passion for travel and learning and meeting new people. By the second week, you've got a few people you tend to sit near at breakfast. There's usually a small group that started doing things on their own, booking a restaurant, sharing a taxi to a viewpoint, or swapping book recommendations. The group dinners we organize are the bookends. Most of the social time happens in between, and it happens because you're all in the same place long enough for it to happen. That's the part of a live-away that's hardest to describe in a brochure, but it's the part that most people remember. February is a long month in Canada. A lot of us, if we're going somewhere, we're going to Florida or Mexico, and there's nothing wrong with that. We've all done it. But you might also spend 2 weeks somewhere you've never been, in a place that'll still feel like itself when you get there, with a small group of people who'd rather have a long lunch than a packed schedule. That's the live-away pitch. Madeira is the place I'd want to point you first. If that sounds like the kind of February that you want to have, the link below contains all the upcoming dates and everything else that you'd need. We'd love to have you join us.